Hey guys, welcome back to Jason and Joni Builds. We're in the shop today, going to build a body cart for the Bronco. We've got the frame off, we've been sanding on it, and I need to get it off of the lift so I can roll it around. And what I want to do is build a body cart that is strong enough that I can assemble the body and hang the doors on it and it won't sag. So I'm using some pretty heavy lumber. And I've had a few of you guys ask me to show this, so what I'll do in the description, or send me an email and I can send you a PDF of a drawing that I've made of this body cart and the material you need, and it shouldn't take too long to build. So if you just have some typical carpentry tools and put it together, and I'll give you the dimensions that you'll need. And so you won't have to look it up. So what I did to get my dimensions, I took my frame, I leveled it up as much as I could, basically right where it is. You can see the level sitting across it. What I did is I pulled my measurements to the body mounts. I measured to the center of the holes, and that's where I've got my dimensions for mine. Please check yours. If your frame has been tweaked at all, maybe been in an accident at some point in its life, yours may be a little bit different. Not that it's bad, it's just your frame specifically is just, it may be a 1/4 inch off somewhere. So check your dimensions, make sure you can shim it. I'm building mine so it fits my body. Anyways, we'll just put this together real quick and see if we can get that body sitting on it. Oh, by the way, I've got Joni back. She has been coughing and hacking for actually since the weekend we picked up the '78 Bronco. So that was before Christmas. So apparently it wasn't COVID, but she's just, if she ever gets a cold, she's pretty prone to bronchitis. So we think she's been battling that for the last couple of weeks. But yeah. Y'all see who I got back out here?
Hi. I finally came out of hibernation for a little bit. So anyway, I just had an allergy issue after we went to pick up the '78 Bronco. They had like a bunch of fertilizer piled out there, and that's a huge trigger for my allergies, and I conveniently didn't take my allergy medicine that day. But thank you so very much for all the wonderful well wishes. That was so sweet of you guys. I really appreciate it. So we're gonna film a little video. I'm trying not to freeze to death because I don't like going outside after it drops below like 60 degrees. So this is like super freezing for me.
It's about 49 degrees here in Alabama today, so that's
way
cold
below my threshold here.
that's cold for us. So anyways, we'll try to get this video done. I'm glad she's back and get you guys a better video. Okay, we're not going to go through me cutting every board on this thing, but I'll put on the screen just a drawing that I've made, and any slight adjustments I make to it after we build this today. So don't so much worry about this one. I'm showing you I've made myself one to start with, but and then I'll also have, again, the list of materials you need. I've got my 2 boards, 12 foot exactly, cut already on the floor, and I need to go ahead and cut my cross boards. So I'm gonna get those cut. We'll get it screwed together and see what happens. So first, so we've got all of our boards cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and start getting my runners in. We'll get all the cross boards in, then we'll put our 4x4s in, and we should have this thing put together.
So how you like your new drill?
I love it. Merry Christmas to me. From you. Guys, if you don't have little impact drivers, this isn't a commercial. This is just the truth. I wore out my last set I had for 5 years, and The other one I have still working has been to the bottom of my pool. And I jumped down there, got it back up, just shook the water out, went right back to working. And these old DeWalt drills have been excellent.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Guys, you'll see I'm building this thing pretty heavy, pretty stout. I just don't want this thing to move because I would like to assemble the body on this thing, hang my doors, and this be rigid enough that I know I won't have a problem when I take it off and put it back on the frame. So you see these pretty heavy boards and extra screws. Use your own judgment if you want to build it different. But
What are you doing?
I didn't follow my own instructions. See there? I didn't measure. I was turned around. I was thinking I was working on the other end. So.
Well, in his defense, he did turn this whole thing around.
So, anyways, I wasn't paying attention. So, follow the print, not exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is what you call brain freeze in South Alabama in the winter.
There, that's where I was supposed to.
So then being in the outer corners, you're moving them in.
Yes, they got to move in because the tailgate, the body mounts are closer, and as you go towards the front, they move out. So when we go to the front, the front side will be all the way to the edge, like I had these just in. So I was just practicing, just making sure I could run screws in like that.
Okay. You just checking to see if I was checking?
Yeah, you check it. Make sure when you're screwing your risers up, make sure they're square. So I keep checking as I'm going, make sure that these stay square. Because as they get longer, they'll spread out if you don't have them straight. All right, so y'all don't laugh, but my mom had, this was an old set of like garage sale clothes racks she had laying around. They were going to put out next to the road, and they asked me if I wanted them. I was like, I might find something to do with the wheels. So I think they'll be strong enough to roll this thing around. So I'm going to take this rack off and just use the wheels. I have two of these, so I'm going to have one at the front and one at the middle. And I'll talk about that real quick. Is if I put the wheels at both ends, you're going to put more stress on your board. Your board's going to try to flex more. So if I can split some of that difference up, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the mount up underneath the floorboard right there at the firewall, because you really don't have a whole lot of weight out front. The weight is really the back 2/3 of the Bronco. So that's where I want my wheels. So I'm not going to put the wheels out there, and that'll help split the difference. If the board tries to bow at all, it'll bow between here and the third support rather than the front and the back support. So if that makes sense, we're basically just making our beam shorter and giving that, it's a 2x10, give that 2x10 a better chance of staying straight and not warping. If you don't mind, slide that, try to get those two holes up underneath these boards. Oh man, that's heavy. perfect.
Straight.
Okay.
We have to straighten it if you pick it up. Pick it up.
It rolls. Maybe it'll hold this thing up. Well, you wanna try it?
Sure, you better hurry up because I'm about to go hibernate again.
Well, it's ready.
You're hitting over there.
All right, I had to take the body back off. It fit fine. I was about a quarter of an inch off on my very front support. Look, guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. And what I got to looking at was the mounts under the Bronco, the 4x4, or it's 3.5 and 3.5. That square is sitting up where the body mounts are. It actually has some other steel, like lap steel. And so that was kind of binding it up, not letting it sit flat on the 4x4 on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my circular saw and cut the tops off, basically, just put like a 45. And I wanted to go ahead and do this anyway, so when I start spraying underneath, it allows the paint to get up around where the body mount's gonna be, because I'm hoping I'll be able to spray it with this on. So let's get those cut and then we'll set it back down, try it again. So what I'm doing, guys, is I am cutting a 45 off each corner. I'm measuring an inch in, and I'll just take my circular saw and cut that off. And what that does is it'll give me a smaller contact patch on the mount underneath the Bronco. Because what was happening when I was trying to set the body all the way down on this, it wasn't hitting the front. We are off a little bit here because of these body mounts. This extra piece of steel sticking up here was keeping that 4x4 from sitting flush where the body mount is. So what we're doing now is we'll have a much smaller contact area, and it should sit more on the body cart like it's supposed to. All right, so I'm gonna do this to all the posts. And like I was saying, now we have just a smaller contact patch. And we know this was level. Okay, we've got all of our posts trimmed. So we're gonna let it down and try it again. I wanted to show you how this thing's sitting underneath now. As you can see, it's right on top of the hole. Both sides sitting flat. See that one? You can see just a little bit of air there. That one's sitting, my back two are right where they're supposed to be. Now the front is a different story. Okay, there's my front. It's about 3/16 off of the board right now. Okay guys, so before I do anything else with the body, I'll go ahead and get the doors hung back on it, the fenders hung back on it. That way I can go ahead and put the proper spacers, because I forgot I did have a shim. I believe under the, I guess the third supports back, I had a washer under each side, and that actually pushes it forward too. So, but I don't want to just try to go off memory. I'm gonna go ahead, it doesn't take but 20 minutes to get the steel hung back on it. I'll hang that back on it and find out exactly what shims I want under each support. And that way I can get everything leveled out just like it's supposed to be, and then I'll start with the body work. But I just can't rush it, and I don't recommend you guys do that either. So again, check your measurements to mine. level your frame like I did. But this will give you a real good starting point, so don't freak out if you have to add a washer or two under each one, because the same thing you'd have to do on your frame once you build it. All right guys, hopefully this helps you with a body cart build. I'll have the dimensions, I'll try to just put a screenshot up there. But if you need them, email me at jasonjonibuilds@gmail.com, and I'll send you a PDF of it, and then you can print it. Or you can take a screenshot from your computer, it doesn't matter, whatever's easier for you. But this cost me $139 without casters. I had my own casters. So you might could build a little cheaper, but just so you know what I spent, $139 material and screws. And this is exactly what I needed. I have mine kind of tall, I'm 6'2". So I would rather be, at a good working stance when I'm sanding. I'm not having to bend over all the time. That's something to take into consideration when you're building yours. If you want to take my dimensions and shorten them, you can, and bring the Bronco down a little bit. Because just to give you a frame of reference, again, I'm 6'2". Here's the top of the Bronco. Anyways, I hope this helps you. To you guys that were asking about it, here you go. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care.